Hey guys, this is Gene Jensen and it is Friday, and that means it is time for my product spotlight. All right, first of all, let's run over a few specs about the SonarPhone. I'm not going to dig really deep into the specs. I'm going to let you guys go and do your own research about it because I know you will. But the SonarPhone is very inexpensive, $130 retail. I've seen it as low as $115 on, I think, Amazon or something like that. Really, really good, really affordable. Secondly, it runs off of Wi-Fi. That means you get a lot more range. There's a lot fewer issues than I've had with other castable fish finders that ran off of Bluetooth. The Wi-Fi picks up good. Another thing I like about it on Wi-Fi, or I think it's cool about it on Wi-Fi, is there's a guide up in Tennessee that I heard about that he's a kayak guide. So he has 5 or 6 or 7 guys out in kayaks. And he has the other version of this that mounts into the kayak, but because it's on Wi-Fi, multiple people can hook up to it. So you and your buddy, me and my kids, we all can hook up to it using our smartphone and we can see what it sees. So it's pretty cool. So it gives me an opportunity to teach my children how to read a fish finder. Another question that might come up is battery life. Now the batteries on this, you throw them on the charger, it charges pretty quick, and the battery life is about 4 continuous hours. You're not going to be using this continuously. I found that it lasts an entire day of fishing because you throw it out there, you see what's there, then you stop and you fish, and this thing turns off automatically. So 4 hours of continuous battery life. Another thing that's really cool about SonarPhone is they send this little arm strap doohickey thing that you throw your smartphone into. You strap it on your arm, it gets your phone out of the way is what it does, and makes it to where you can work this SonarPhone on the rod and reel and still see your fish finder. So it's not, you always need an extra hand if you don't have one of these. So these come in really handy. Okay, so the rod that I would use with this is really, I would go to Walmart, big box store, Academy, wherever, and buy one of those big catfishing rods that has a spinning reel on it. Put 65 pound, or not 60, no, don't do that, sorry. Put 20 pound monofilament on it or 25 pound monofilament on it. Do not use braid. I was about to tell you to use braid, that was dumb. Do not use braid. Braid, if you get a backlash in braid, that sudden stopping of the backlash with the braid causes the braid to snap, even if it's 65 pound test. I've got a big swim bait, expensive swim bait at the bottom of Gunnersville because I was stupid and did that. So don't use braid, use monofilament, some type of a plastic line or polymer line that will give you the stretch if you ever get a backlash with it. It is a heavy device. You've got to have a big rod, got to have a lot of line. I use my swim bait rod. If I'm not using it, I use my swim bait rod with fluorocarbon on it, 20 pound fluorocarbon. So that's one thing to remember. Okay, now the one thing that impressed me when I first saw this thing over a year ago is that the image that shows up on your phone as the sonar image looks exactly like what you would see on a regular fish finder on your boat. So what I like to use it for is I use it to teach my kids how to use a fish finder. So if you're if you're a beginner at using a fish finder, this is an ideal product. You're only out $130. You don't have to go spend $400, $500, $600 on a fish finder. It is a color display. It tells you exactly what's on the bottom, and it helps you to learn that and learn it more efficiently. So if you ever do get a boat and you get a fish finder, you're almost instantly able to go out and use that fish finder. You don't have to learn how to use it. I absolutely love it. The other castable fish finders do not do that. They look like video games. They look like anything other than a real fish finder. That's what has impressed me the most. So I use this to teach my kids how to fish. They take it out, they cast it around, they are able to see what the bottom composition is, whether there's cover or grass or anything else, and they're really able to go out and catch fish. It's a lot of fun. Now you can use this on either phone, either an iPhone or an Android. The app is free. It's real easy to use, really simple. There's simple, very, very, very simple controls and everything else. Let's go over the controls real quick. All right, so I have it in demo mode right now. And what you can see, like I said, it looks exactly like a regular fish finder. You can see that this is a little bit harder bottom right here, really, really hard bottom. That's soft bottom over there, so you can tell where the silt is. You get a drop off, a few little bait fish up in here, a larger fish right here. You can really, really see it, and it's got really simple controls. The gain or the contrast. You can up the gain and the contrast to make it brighter and brighter. You know, and I kind of like it look about like that. So you can, that's about all of the customization you really need to do to it. Zoom in, pause it to see, you know, so you can look and see some detail. It goes right back to it. Just an absolute easy sonar to use. There's not a whole lot of adjustments you have to do to make it work. And when you have it out on the lake, it's a pretty clear signal. And when you have it out on the lake, it's pretty easy to set up. It's pretty easy to get things to clear up for you. Of course, if there's junk in the water, it's going to show junk in the water. But what I found is this thing does not send off a bad signal. It tells you exactly what's underneath your boat. The cone is a kind of an average cone. I want to say it's a 125 or something like that. You'll have to look it up. So, well, be sure to check one of these things out. You can go to vexilar.com. You can also get it at other websites. I'll put a few links down in the description for you to look for it or look at it. Do some research. Check it out. The SonarPhone by Vexilar. It's a good product.